Hi everyone, we're going to be colouring a page from Agotapop's Autumn Tinies today. Autumn is on its way and it's rather nice to have a go. Now I did this one a while ago, but I'm having a look and I think I'm going to do the little Scarecrow. He is just absolutely adorable. Isn't necessarily an autumnal picture, maybe the corn cob might be, but I think it's still a nice one to do. I'm going to start with things that I know what colour I want them to be, which is how I often start a picture. So I'm going to start with the stick. We've got a bit of stick here, here and here, so I'm going to do that first. I'm going to do a base colour in a lightish brown. I think a warm brown is quite nice. I'm going to use the brown ochre. I'm using my Polychromos pencils. And I'm just going to do a fairly even layer. It doesn't need to be really even because it's wood. I like to do wood with a bit of a, look how cute that looks like a little thumb. I like to do wood with a bit of a texture to it sometimes anyway, so it doesn't matter if it's uneven because it might just look like the texture of the wood. Now these tinies are available on Agotapop's Etsy shop, and I'm going to grab the walnut brown to do a bit more work on these. And if you use the link in my description of my video, you get 10% off. So that's rather kind of her to provide that. I'm just gently bringing that darker colour in. The idea is that this looks a bit, hopefully, like shadow, so it makes it look like our wood piece is rounded, which it would be, I think, like a, I always imagine these are like a broom handle or something like that. I don't know if they really are. So I'm putting a lot more emphasis on the edges, but also thinking about where there might be some shadow. I'm thinking at the bottom might be a bit darker, and then just here where the shorts are, or shadow it like that. We'll do a similar thing with the other two. It's rather dark today. Just looking at my lamp setting, I think it's on the right setting. It's very rainy, cloudy, you know, autumnal. Today I think we've got rain forecast for the next 2 weeks, which is it's okay. It's not a like continuous rain all day long every day, so that's okay, but it's just you know, I worry more for, actually yesterday I got completely drenched. My trousers, I had a Mac on, so you know my top half was fine, but my trousers got absolutely soaked, and I had so much wet washing hanging around the house that there was nowhere to hang them up to dry, and the house isn't terribly warm. It's not cold, but it's not really warm enough for washing to dry very well, so I just left them on and they dried on me, and I wasn't cold, so it was fine. I mean, I don't know if it's really a recommended way to dry clothes, just to wear them. But it didn't do me any harm, so there we go. Right, next I am thinking these leaves, I want them to be quite dark. I don't know why, I just feel like I want them dark, so I'm going to grab this fairly dark chrome oxide green, you can't actually see the name very well, and just make them dark. I might try and do them a little bit darker at the base, but it's when they're small it doesn't really show, and you want to get some coverage so you can see the colour, but on this one I can do a bit less at the top, and you can see the difference hopefully between the bottom and the top. Just notice we can't see the top of his hat, it doesn't matter, we'll just get this bit done first and then move him down. Her, I always think scarecrows are boys, but obviously they're not. I remember there used to be a TV show called Wurzel Gummidge about scarecrows. Some of you may remember if you're as old and ancient as me. And sweet corn. There was a couple of lady scarecrows, I think. There was, Aunt Sally, but I'm sure there was another Lady Scarecrow in the show. This is the Naples yellow. It's a little bit different. It looks quite orangey in my camera, but it is more of a brownish yellow, but I think it works for the sweet corn. Now you might want to do a bit of shadowing on here. It's quite tricky. I'm going to have a little go. I'm not sure if it's even going to show up, so I'm going to grab my green gold, which I'm just sharpening. Oh, green gold. And I'm going to just try and do a little bit in between. And obviously there's a black line drawn there anyway, but I'm thinking if I go over it and near it with this, it might just make it look a bit more shadowy. I'm not sure what's going on with the tip. I might just colour that in a bit with this. There we go. I don't know if that really made a big... I don't think it quite had the effect I was going for, but it's made them look slightly different colours, which is probably slightly more realistic, to be fair. Okay, the leaves. Now, I always think they're quite light, so I'm using the grass green. I used to love a corn on the cob when I was little. We would have it, I put it on a plate with loads of butter, roll it in the butter and then tuck in. I can't eat them now because I've got a broken tooth. And it's not severely broken, but it's I'm always looking after it, if you know what I mean. This is the permanent green olive, and I'm just going to use it to put a bit of shadow on our leaves. I'm thinking in here where they overlap, it'd be a little bit darker, so I'm just going to put a little bit in there, and then maybe over these stripes like that, and then a bit here and over these stripes, and then the same on this one. Nice and straightforward, just makes a little bit of difference. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm thinking face, sort of, oh sorry, I hit the desk with my chair, a sort of sackcloth type effect, I should imagine. I'm going to do a base of grey. Now I think it really should be brown. This is warm grey 4. Had to think about that. And I'm going to use this first underneath, but it's not brown enough for me, but I haven't quite got the right colour, so I'm going to mix the colours and hope that it's going to work. I love the little button eyes. And the nose is going to leave as well. So yeah, I'm thinking if we go over this with a light brown, we might end up with more of a sackcloth colour. We'll see what happens. We also need some straw for the hair, and then we can start to think about colours. I'm sort of thinking autumnal theme, autumnal colours. You know, what colours do you associate with autumn? Oranges, reds, browns, that sort of thing I do. And some greens. I'm sort of thinking trees, really. But also Halloween. We're a while away yet. Quite a while away, significant while away. But when I think of Halloween, I start thinking greens and purples and oranges. Oh, I can see the sun's about to come out and shine all over the page. Nougat, I think it's a bit shadowy, isn't it? I think we're okay. So I'm going to go do a gentle layer of nougat, and I'm hoping to just turn this slightly browner. Just realising there's a bit in there. Sort of missed. But I still want it to be sort of a dullish brown. I'm thinking sackcloth isn't like really dark. It's nice to be using my Polychromos again. When I was on holiday, I took my Staedtlers and my Cores pencils, which they're together in the same case. I just wanted to take one case. Now I have my Staedtler Norris, my super soft, my design journey, my ergo soft, and I have my cores, normals and pastels. So I thought that's a lot of sets all in one reasonably small case. So I thought that would be enough to sort of keep me going, which it was, but I'm so used to having such a nice choice of pencils. It was nice to get back and have some different ones to use. Now this isn't this isn't coloured very evenly, but I don't think that necessarily matters, because I'm thinking, would sackcloth have a tiny little, has a little tiny what's the word I'm looking for, weave pattern in it, and I'm going to try to put that in. I think this might be a little bit adventurous and tricky. So I've got my dark sepia, okay, and I'm going to try to put in maybe any faint lines like this. I'm going to make a sort of cross hatch. It might just look really weird, so see what you think before you try. Maybe might be a bit too far apart really, and on this one it would be sort of in this direction. Yeah, these are much closer together. I need to go back into that top one and put some more in closer together. There we go, and then we need it to go this way. On this one we need to sort of follow this pattern around, and then around. I don't know if that's the right way to do it really, but I should have done them straight across. Maybe they're straight across here. It looks more like I've tried to do a tartan fabric than a bit of sackcloth. I'm not sure. I'm going to fill in these bits here where we've got the fabric is sort of caught up. And I'm thinking it might be a bit darker here and here, and also on the edges because of the shape of the face. So I'm just going to gently darken them. Still using the dark sepia, but using it quite gently because it can be quite dark, hence the name. So it's just a case of being gentle with it and just layering it up until it looks right. I think we're nearly there. Tap a bit under there. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully it'll work. Now, excuse me, straw. I'm thinking that this is quite a nice straw colour. This is our light yellow ochre. Whoops. Let's give it a go. I think you have to be a bit careful with straw, or else they end up looking like chips. Potato chips. Oh, what do you call them? French fries. That's it. That's the word. Hopefully you can tell it's hair though and not French fries. Hopefully. Now I'm just going to get a slightly darker colour. I think I'll grab the green gold that we've been used already and use that just to put some darker bits. Now these have got little marks on, so I think we can use that as a guidance. Like that. And now, what are we thinking we have? The jacket. I'm thinking, do I want to... yeah, I think I want to do the jacket in an orange, make it look quite autumnal. I think I'm going to start with a lightish one and then build up colour if I think it needs it. So I'm going to start with this cadmium orange and just do a colour all over. I'm wondering those leaves there coming out the arm, whether they would be the same colour as these, but not necessarily. No, I know I haven't done the eyes, neck, all that. I'm just trying to work through the colours that I keep thinking of, really. If that makes any sense. As I get an idea of a colour, I do that bit, so it's a bit hit and miss, haphazard. I don't know what... No, this is looking quite messy, but this is just my first layer. Now the joy with pencil is I can look now and think, right, where needs going over a bit more? Here. You know, where is the really scruffy bit? Don't go over all of it again, or else it will just continue to look scruffy. It will help though, but try and go over the places that are lacking in colour, and that should help. This paper isn't the best paper. It's a bit smooth and shiny, but I'll get there. And it's here that it's a bit lacking in colour. But this is only my first layer. I'm going to stop now in fiddling about and just get a layer down. Then I'm going to put down some darker layers and mix it all up, and hopefully by then it'll sort itself out, as if by magic. Now, it's quite a bright orange jacket, isn't it? Coat, whatever it is. So I could darken it with sort of a sanguine or a terracotta, which is a little bit less brash, or I could just use the deep cadmium orange. I think I'm going to go down the sanguine route, or burnt ochre. Yeah, burnt ochre. So I'm going to use this for my really dark area. So I'm thinking under the sleeve here, there's going to be a lot of shadow. It's going to be dark. So I'm going to get some layers down here. And just sort of fade it up the sleeve. So lots down here. It isn't really as dark as I'd hoped, but we'll get there. Take that up. Now I also think it's going to be a little bit dark on the edges. Like that, and here. Now this pocket's quite tricky. We've got sort of bulge here, so there's going to be a bit of a shadow under there, and there'll be a shadow underneath too, and around. And even around the leaves and things, and then also down here. Like that. Now, yeah, I think I'm going to go back to our back to our cadmium orange and try and tidy up. So I'm going to go on top of here, quite hard, and then less towards the top of the sleeve, where the light's going to be coming from above, we assume. We assume the sun is up in the sky there somewhere. And hopefully you can see a bit of a transition of colour through that sleeve. I'm going to do the same on this one. Because the pencils are transparent, you can see the darker colour underneath, creating the look of the shadow. And I'm also putting down more layers at the bottom of the sleeve, just over colouring to create those layers. Like that. Let's put a bit more there, really trying to even it out a bit, but it is an old scruffy coat, so it's not crucial that it looks perfect. So I want more here. And here we've got a patch of dirt on there. I think I might just ignore that and let those lines show through so we can see it's dirty without adding a dirty colour. I might change my mind. I'm just trying to neaten and even it out a little bit. Darken it up as well. And I'm thinking at the moment about what colour buttons. What colour buttons would I do? Not sure. Let's keep going around and around. And we'll nearly be done with our jacket, which is the sort of biggest area really, isn't it, of this picture. I'll make it a little darker there. There we go, and then the pocket. Hopefully you'll find that yours is easier to make even than mine. It's just my paper. It's always a bit hit and miss with paper. I find Polychromos are quite fussy with paper as well. Anything too smooth and they're not particularly happy. But then, yeah, anything too rough, they're not happy either. So that's good. Right, we need to think about where we're going next. I keep knocking him out shot. Okay. I'm going to do this tie around here, and I think I'm just going to do it in a dark brown. Might use this burnt umber actually. Now because it's going around in a circle, it's going to be darker here on the edges. A bit lighter in the middle, and that will help to show that it's sort of rounded. It's not a shine because it'll be a piece of, I don't know, it's twine. It's a bit thick for a piece of twine. Anyway, there we go. Right, now we've got a space in here, and I'm thinking maybe there's a little scarf or something in there which we could draw in, and I'm thinking what colour? Maybe that would be a terracotta. Now you have to believe me, he's a little small. It does say cotta on there, for those of you who can read well. Small, if you can read small. I'm just going to fill that in really. There will be some shadows from the sackcloth and the coat. I'm going to do those after. I'm going to come round after with my dark sepia once I've done all the clothes and draw in some of the shadows, I think. I think that'll be the easiest way to approach it. Now the buttons are different. I've just noticed this one's got an X on it and this one's got a line on it. So this has got 4 holes and this one's only got 2, so they're not the same. So I think they need to be different colours. But I'm going to choose 2 shades of blue as if they are eyes, but maybe the person who made them didn't have 2 shades. So this is a cobalt turquoise, which I'm going to do for this eye. There we go. And then the other eye, I'm going to do a completely different shade of blue. I'm going to use the indanthrene blue. You don't have to do this. If you want them to match, make them match by all means. I just think they're drawn as if they're different. So there we go. And the nose, black, I think. Little black button nose. And I'm going to do the coat buttons in black as well. I don't know why. I think men's clothes have black buttons, but maybe they don't. Who knows? Right, we have 2 patches. Let's do those next. I'm thinking let's do quite a dark green for one of them. Here is a juniper green. I'll do it for this one. Now again, I'm thinking it might be a little bit darker at the bottom, just due to the light, and then lighter up the sleeve, like that. And then this one, let's make it a sort of denim-ish. I think this is my closest. This is ultramarine. I don't know, it's not really denim, is it? And it doesn't match, which is the point really, because why would it? You know, the idea is the Scarecrow is made up of odds and ends of material, old things, etc. Just trying to make it quite even. Not easy. But I'm just layering over the bits that look scruffy. Like that. There we go. Okay, hat. It's like a witch's hat, isn't it? It's rather fun. I was thinking black, it's a little bit boring. Maybe grey. Let's do the Paynes grey, it's a really nice grey. And we might, there we go, Paynes grey. Now, it's going to be really dark in here. So we're going to layer it up there. And then put a bit less on the edge. So actually this edge would do a bit darker. And then as we come in, do less. Because it would be brighter, I think, in the front. So here, let darker. Layer it up. Put a bit in there. Up here. And then a bit less towards the middle. Now we've got a just gonna fill that in really lightly, because we've got this sort of crease that's going to be there, then it's darker. That's it. And then I think it's dark on the edges, but that bit's extra dark. Go lighter across here. It takes practice to get lighter and darker bits, and I'm still learning myself to get it as, you know, I can't get it first time. Do that darker there as a little crease, but it's just a matter of fiddling and fuddling until it just works. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And then the hat band, we want to be really bright so it stands out. And so I'm looking at my reds. Yeah, let's go for this red. This is the Pompeian red. It's not a really bright brash red, but I think it will still stand out nicely. Make it darker here, so layer, layer, layer. A bit less layers here. A lot less there. Start down here again, lots and lots and lots of layers. A bit less, there we go. There he is. Right, now we need to do the shorts. And I'm thinking I quite like a sort of violet-y colour. I think I'm actually going to go for the Delft blue. It's a purplish blue. I think it'll look nice. We'll see, won't we? So I'm thinking it's going to be darker here. A bit lighter, but they're not rounded, they look quite flat the way they're drawn, so I'm not going to try and make it too dark on the edges compared to the, it's in here that we're going to have the dark bit because it's sort of inside. We do the same on this one, dark in there. I like how we have these little tufts here blowing in the wind where they're it's fraying. It's looking a bit messy. Now this is where a blending pencil might help because it's looking messy, but I'm just layering instead. The problem with layering, of course, is that you get more colour put down, so it means it darkens it. So you do the same on the other one. I'm putting a line there because this stick goes up here, and I think they would sort of be wrapped around the stick a bit. I don't know if that worked. Anyway, that's the shorts for now. As I say, I'm going to put some shadows on the clothing. Actually, could do that now because I finished all the clothing. So here's my dark sepia. I'm going to start at the top here and do a shadow under here. My stomach's gurgling. And then down the edge of the jacket. I'm not going to do under the buttons because they're actually really dark. Let's do a bit of work under the pocket. Around there. And then here, look. Yeah, a little bit on the hat, under the hat band. So just all the areas that I think might have shadow. Right, so we've got a couple of little bits left now. We've got our leaves. Oh, my pencils are running all over the place. I think we'll do these a colour we haven't used yet, rather than trying to remember what this was or match it up. Let's grab the permanent green. Let's use that one. Now this one at the back is going to be a little bit darker. There'll be some shadow from the leaf in front of it. There we go. And then our little bird. Now obviously my pencils are wanting to run everywhere. We can do the bird whatever colour we like. We don't have to stick to a bird colour. But I quite like the idea of keeping him quite brown and organic and earthy. It sort of matches in. And so I'm grab the bistre, and I'm going to do him all over actually in bistre to start with, like he's a little sparrow. Although they're quite small if he was, for the size of the scarecrow. The scarecrow would be quite small, I mean. I'm going to make the ends of the tail a bit darker and under the wing. Get a bit more on the tummy. Just going to layer up a little bit in places under the feathers there and there. Just make him look a little bit more 3D. Sounds like it's raining. Can't tell, it's very cloudy. There we go, and now his beak. I'm going to do it just black. It's always, hear my pencils. They want to come. They're going to come. There they are. It's always tempting to do a beak in yellow, but actually beaks aren't yellow, are they? So there we are. So I think I am done actually. Just having a quick look, but I'm really happy with little Scarecrow. I think it does look quite autumnal. A little bit Halloweeny with his witch's hat, just getting us in a little bit of a mood. But as I say, next week we're back to houses before we start thinking about autumnal Halloweeny type things. But I do have a Halloween and an autumn playlist on my channel, so look through my playlist. You can search in my playlists and you can put in the search term autumn or Halloween. I'm not sure if I called it fall as well. Definitely autumn. I might put autumn/fall, not sure. And you can have a look, and that might just, if you want to do some autumnal things, there's a selection there for you just to get you started. But I will be doing some soon, but I'd probably wait till October, to be honest. But anyway, I'll stop wittering on. Have a really fantastic day, and as I say, the link to the download for this page will be in the description, so take a look. Thank you for watching and happy colouring.